Good afternoon and welcome back to RMU-Live for Monday, April 2nd, 2018. I'm Logan Carney.
And I'm Shannon Devlin. Here's what's happening now.
A mother whose daughter is now in therapy spoke out against the people that put her there. The incident she's referring to was hazing and beating of sorority girls from the University of Pittsburgh. This took place in Penn Hills. Penn Hills police are still investigating the incident, and the sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha has been shut down.
2 of the 3 teens that escaped the Schumann Juvenile Detention Center on Thursday night were captured Friday night. The 3rd teen, Raymonte Green, is still on the run. On Saturday, the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department stated that police spotted the 2013 black Chevy Cruze going southbound on Route 51, which is the car the teens stole. This led to a pursuit which ended with the car crashed.
The Pittsburgh police has seized $100,000 worth of narcotics and weapons after they searched the 100 block of Fountain Street in Fine View at around 7:30 p.m. on Friday. 3 people have been arrested in connection with the narcotics.
United Airlines is now expanding its flights out of Pittsburgh International Airport with nonstop service to San Francisco to year-round, and it's now offering 2 flights a day during June 7th through October 3rd.
A 20-year-old is in stable condition after being shot in the East Hills on Easter Sunday. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but is now reportable stable. The police are still investigating the matter.
New inconsistencies have been uncovered in the Stephon Clark shooting. A doctor retained by Clark's family says his independent autopsy does not line up with what police say happened. Omar Jimenez reports.
An independent autopsy released Friday afternoon reveals Stephon Clark was shot 8 times by police, including 6 wounds in his back. According to Clark's family attorneys who hired the forensic pathologist, the report contradicts Sacramento police officers' version of what happened.
The proposition that has been presented that he was assailing the officers, meaning he was facing the officers, is inconsistent with the prevailing forensic evidence.
The shooting sparked days of protests from residents demanding answers for why the 22-year-old unarmed black man was shot while on his grandmother's property. The officers say they believed Clark was pointing a gun at them, but investigators only found a cell phone near his body. Friday's autopsy also revealed Clark did not immediately die after he was shot.
Death took about 3 to 10 minutes. It was not an instantaneous death.
The release comes one day after Clark's funeral, where friends and family continued their emotional call for justice.
Stephon is going to live for generations to generations to generations to generations. The Clark family will never die.
The county coroner's autopsy determined the cause of death as multiple gunshot wounds, but the full report won't be released until the case is closed. I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
The Sacramento Police Department issued a statement in response to the findings outlined in the independent autopsy. It says that they have not been provided with the official report from the Sacramento County's coroner's office and will not give any further comment at this time.
Body camera footage from the shooting that left Alton Sterling dead has emerged. In the footage, the officer threatened to shoot Alton Sterling within 90 seconds of the video. He has been suspended and is still under investigation from the department. Students at Howard University are demanding answers in the university's financial aid scandal. Last year, an outside auditor found that university employees pocketed extra money from financial aid funds. Kim Hutchinson has more details on the student-led protest from this weekend.
What is a true black university and who does it serve? Does it serve the administration who are trying to exploit money and rob the students, financial aid? Or does it serve all black people, all black students on this campus?
Spurred by revelations of financial misconduct, protesters took control of Howard University's administration building late last week. The group's leaders issued a list of wide-ranging demands and say they won't stand down until the administration addresses them. On Tuesday, a blog post that has since been deleted detailed allegations of financial misconduct at the historically black university. A day later, university president Dr. Wayne Frederick confirmed the scandal. In 2017, an audit found that some employees received more money than their education cost and pocketed the difference. Between 2007 and 2016, some employees received grants to attend classes in addition to having their tuition waived. Annual tuition at Howard runs over $40,000.
How someone was able to embezzle so much money from financial aid, why we don't have sufficient housing for the amount of undergraduate students here, and why the administration building has no relationship with the students on campus.
6 people were fired after the audit, but students say that's not enough and are asking the university's president to resign.
I think that's a fair question to ask, and I feel that I directed my team to take the appropriate action.
I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
The allegations were first made public by a now-deleted expose posted by blogging platform Medium. The author is still unknown, but Sunday marked day 4 of the sit-in at Howard University. And a student member of the Resist said the university has agreed to meet their first demand.
Let's go outside to Reagan Check, who has a live look at the weather.
Did get a little bit of snow, but it's melting pretty quickly because it is warmer. And tomorrow we're even looking at some even warmer temperatures, so hopefully the snow will be gone by tonight. And I'm going to send it back to the desk.
For the best coverage of Robert Morris and around the Pittsburgh area, be sure to check out RMUCenturyMedia.com. Coming up, Norsal Moon, the widow of the Pulse nightclub shooter, was found not guilty.
And teachers all over the country are protesting for higher wages.
Stay tuned.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want.
I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing.
To be able to see students become successful after Robert Morris is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
New York has passed a bill to restrict guns for domestic abusers in the state. The bill updates a previous law and will now allow law enforcement officials to take away guns from committed domestic abusers.
More than 40,000 teachers and thousands of supporters across Oklahoma are walking off their jobs in protest over their salaries. Teachers previously received a $6,100 pay raise. The teachers have said this isn't enough. The Oklahoma Teachers Association is asking for a $10,000 raise over 3 years. And these strikes aren't just happening in Oklahoma, they are happening all over the nation. Teachers are asking lawmakers for raises in states such as Oklahoma, Arizona, Kentucky, and West Virginia. West Virginia teachers want a 5% increase according to the Times. Oklahoma teachers want a 16% raise. Kentucky teachers called off work closing 20 counties, and Arizona teachers want a 20% raise increase.
Hundreds of people marched in Salt Lake City, Utah to demand that the Mormon Church stop private meetings between bishops and children. They say it's an ideal situation for abuse, and many says that's what happened to them as kids. Ben Winslow has more on the story.
More than 800 people marched through downtown Salt Lake City to Temple Square. Calling on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to end the practice of bishops' worthiness interviews.
My son is dead because the church will not address this.
Organizers hand-delivered a 55,000 signature petition.
Hi. He's so cute. Thank you.
Asking the church to end one-on-one interviews that LDS bishops have with youth where personal questions about sexuality have been asked, and some claim they've been abused.
I'm story
Apostle number 14. Val Christensen happens to have one of the stories recorded taking a child behind a closed door, grooms them for pedophiles.
The church says that it has made changes so that there are safeguards against abuse, but demonstrators here say that it's not enough. They want the practice of worthiness interviews ended entirely.
You cannot take baby steps. It's time, people. It's time. The greatest test of everybody's faith is religion. And this religion has not been faith promoting. It has not been kind. And this subject is not going away.
In a statement, the LDS Church says it shares concerns for the safety of youth. The church says local leaders are given clear instructions on youth interviews.
I wish they would face us. So many people are hurting.
Some demonstrators who are victims of abuse wanted to meet personally with LDS general authorities. They could only give church representatives books with hundreds of personal stories.
Let the millstone not be hung around your neck. Don't let what happened to me happen to children for generations to come. It's in your hands.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Ben. People are still trying to stop those meetings between Mormon bishops and children.
Noor Salam, who is the widow of Omar Mateen, who is the gunman that killed 49 people and injured more than 50 others at the Orlando nightclub Pulse in June of 2016. Salam was arrested in January 2017. Prosecutors thought that Salam aided Mateen in the killing spree, but she was found not guilty and was acquitted of providing any support to the foreign terrorist organization.
It's been 6 months since 58 innocent people lost their lives in the biggest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Survivors and other community members came together Sunday in Las Vegas to honor them. Gina Lazara has more.
Desert stars on a city night, Jason Aldean, a few Coors Lights like home.
There was hugging, crying, and unity as hundreds gathered together exactly 6 months since that horrifying night.
It's still emotional. It's still rough, I won't lie.
6 months since 58 people became angels.
Victor Link. Austin Davis.
Their names read one by one over the loudspeaker.
To let the 58 know we haven't forgot about them, and we're going to just show how strong we still are as one and how much we've all come together.
Stacy Armentrout was there that night with their husband and 2 daughters. They all made it out alive.
Each person's journey through the trauma is slightly different.
But coming together as one, as survivors, as people who are going to live for those 58 deceased, is something all these people have in common. So they walked the perimeter of the venue, holding glow sticks and wearing pins in honor of the victims.
I give the organizers so much credit for taking the effort and the time to put this together and to give people the opportunity to come down here, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Commissioner Steve Sisolak showing his support, bringing 58 roses, one for each soul.
The community just feels so strongly and so united, and at a time when the country is so torn apart, the country certainly united on this one thing.
Gina Lazara, 13 Action News.
There's been memorials set up all throughout Las Vegas, and if you want to see items from the original memorial that took place at the Las Vegas sign, they are on display now at the Clark County Museum, which is located just off South Boulder Highway in Las Vegas. Laura Ingraham has announced that she is taking a week off following the departure of several advertisers leaving the show. This comes after she shared an article and made fun of student activist David Hogg. David Hogg is a survivor of the Parkland shooting and has been vocal about gun control since the tragedy.
A Chinese space lab plummeted to Earth's atmosphere this morning. The 40-foot-long lab is known as the Heavenly Palace. The lab landed in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean. Heavenly Palace was launched in September 2011 as a prototype for China's goal in space. China has a goal of a permanent space station to launch around the year 2022. Just this week, a news report from the CDC said 115 Americans die every day from opioids. In an effort to keep the public safer, Seattle Public Libraries will install Sharpers containers at 4 branches. Sharpers containers are disposable bins for things like syringe and needles. Hannah Kim shows us where the containers will be placed and how the employee is doing after getting pricked.
It's no longer unusual to witness someone shooting up on the streets.
And so, yeah, you see it quite often, all over.
But now it's also happening in public libraries. A janitor cleaning out a restroom trash at this Ballard branch is pricked by a needle.
As a mom, also feel scared for the safety of my child and for the safety of our community too.
Seattle Public Library says that employee did not contract a disease and is doing okay. But they did confirm they're finding more needles both outside and inside some of their libraries.
Changing times. It's different now than it used to be.
Over the past couple of months, the staff at Ballard has found at least 6 needles, mostly in their bathrooms.
Schools are teaching the children not to touch hypodermic needles when they find them on the playground. It was definitely shocking for me as a parent because when I was a kid, I grew up in a more suburban area, so this is definitely more urban, and I'm really happy that they're teaching our kids how to stay safe.
Seattle Public Libraries is now reacting with a pilot program. They will place public sharp containers similar to this one in some of their bathrooms. Branches at UW, Capitol Hill, Central Library downtown, and Ballard will get the disposable bins.
This is a complex issue, and if this is a measure that we can take now that we know even helps in a small way, then I'm for it.
It's not just a library problem, it's a citywide issue, and that's why Seattle Public Utilities is trying something new. They've installed mailbox-sized bins like this one to safely dispose needles. This one specifically is in the Fremont Canal Park. There are 5 other large metal bins like this across the city, so needles end up here and not in parks or playgrounds.
It's in the same vein of putting those disposable boxes in the restrooms. To have them is better than not having them.
In Seattle, Hannah Kim, Q13 News.
Signs have been posted in the libraries to warn users that drug and alcohol use are not allowed on the premise.
A woman in Dallas was sentenced for 8 years in prison after it was proven that she committed voter fraud. Rosa Maria Ortego, age 37, voted in the past 2 elections despite being an illegal immigrant. Rosa was brought to this country by her mother as an infant many years ago. She voted without the knowledge that she was illegal. She is also a mother of 4 and will likely face deportation after her sentence in prison.
Americans are better off than they were 4 decades ago, according to the recent report by the Congressional Budget Office. That the think tank says that the median income has risen 51% between 1979 and 2014, although the Census Bureau estimates that income has barely grown since 1979. Charles Barkley has donated $250,000 towards educating students in Mississippi and Alabama high school students about African American history. The class will be taught through a partnership between the Community Foundation of Northwest Mississippi and the technology company Everfield. The Basketball Hall of Famer and TV analysis said in a statement that every child in his home state should have the opportunity to know their history. Barkley was born during the Civil Rights era.
Coming up, Malala Yousafzai returns to her home country.
And a state in India is going to have universal health care.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thank you for coming back. And a Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai has returned to her hometown in Pakistan for the first time since she was shot there by the Taliban. She was shot in the head by the Taliban in 2012 for campaigning for female education in the country. She recently spoke at an all-boys school in the area, and her trip is only supposed to last 4 days.
Chief Minister of the state of Karnataka introduced the first statewide universal healthcare program in India. The first phase of the program began on March 2nd of this year. By the end of the program, 10 million households regardless of income.
Police in the United Kingdom are putting out an app that allows them to raid victims' phones without a warrant. At least 26 police forces now use the technology, which can give police everything from locations to text messages. The app was originally used during the 2012 Olympics and is mainly used whenever the police need a photo of the victim. The United States blocked a draft statement in the UN Security Council Saturday that called for investigation into clashes on Israel's border with Gaza that left 15 Palestinians, dead. The United States has taken Israel's side and is no different in this incident. This particular investigation was proposed by Kuwait and it called for an independent investigation on the matter. The statement also talked about such issues as the border between the two countries and the right to peacefully protest there.
A Tokyo-based nonprofit is offering classes in Japanese as the number of foreign students in the country without sufficient language skills grows. The classes streamed online by Japanese language experts.
After officials cleaned Versova Beach in Mumbai, turtles have been spotted hatching on the beach. The turtle species is olive ridley, and almost 80 of them have been spotted on the now cleaned beach. The beach was declared by the United Nations as the world's largest beach cleanup in history. The cleanup was led by lawyer Asfarzo Shah.
Be sure to tune into our other shows, RMU-Live Mondays at 1 p.m. and Fridays at noon, Sports Talk in the Berg, and RMU Tonight Wednesdays at 5 p.m., and Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30, here on RMU-TV. Coming up with a check-in with Reagan Check in our Weather Center.
And we send you to Shuley on Sports with our sports anchor, Mike Shuley, coming up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want.
I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing.
To be able to see students become successful after Robert Morris is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Shuley on Sports. I'm Michael Shuley. Now let's dig in to what happened in Pittsburgh sports this past weekend. The Penguins split the two games that they played this weekend. The first game was Saturday night against the Montreal Canadiens. The Penguins would emerge victorious from this contest, edging out the Habs 5-2. This was a huge win for the Penguins as it secured the Pens a playoff spot for the 12th straight season. Phil Kessel, Evgeny Malkin, and Riley Sheehan all contributed with 2 points in the victory. Then Sunday night, the Washington Capitals came to town to take on the Pens, and the Caps, unfortunately for the Penguins, would emerge victorious with a 3-1 victory. This victory secured Washington's third straight Metropolitan Division title. The Pirates started their season on a high note this weekend as the Bucks were able to take all 3 games in Detroit this weekend against the Tigers. After Thursday's season opener was postponed, the Buccos began their season on Friday with a 13-10 victory in 13 innings. The Bucks were pushed past the Tigers by a Gregory Polanco 3-run home run in the top of the 13th inning. The two teams were scheduled to play again on Saturday. However, Mother Nature once again intervened, causing the game to be postponed to Sunday, where the Pirates and Tigers would square off in a doubleheader. The Buccos would then go on to win both games in the doubleheader. The first game saw the Pirates win 1-0 as pitcher Trevor Williams held Detroit hitless through his 6 innings that he pitched. The final game of the series and of the doubleheader would see the Pirates emerge victorious once more by a score of 8-6. The Bucks home opener is today. That game is currently underway. It started at 1 o'clock, and the Pirates are taking on the Minnesota Twins, and they're winning 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. As for RMU athletics, the men's lacrosse team struggled against the Bryant Bulldogs continued this past Friday. The Colonials haven't defeated the Bulldogs since 2012, and they will have to wait a little bit longer for their chance of snapping this streak as Bryant defeated the Colonials 10-7 Friday night at Joe Walton Stadium. The Colonials, who had won 5 in a row heading into this contest, will have a chance to get their record back on track and get back in the win column on Saturday as they will travel to Geneva, New York to take on the Hobart Statesmen. Now we're going to send it over to Reagan Check for a look in at the weather.
Thank you, Mike. And looking at today, the high today is actually 47 degrees, which is why all of the snow is melting so quickly. Looking at tomorrow, it's actually going to be a little bit warmer. It's going to be 67, but it is going to rain. But I think that's nice it's better than snow. Looking at the 5-day forecast, it's going to be in the 50s on Wednesday, 45 on Thursday. Friday, it's going to be 39, and there is a chance of snow. Saturday and Sunday is going to be 40 and 46, so it's definitely getting a little bit better. I'm going to send it back to Shannon and Logan on the desk.
That's all the time we have.
Thank you, and we will see you next week.